不要になたしさは他にしないでください。14教訓、Dokkodo Miyamoto Musashi. I will elaborate on this precept. 5 years ago, I made an endeavor to undergo a major life change, which required me leaving from one residence to one much further away. I came to realize very quickly that I'd acquired quite a few material possessions and was confronted with the choice of what to leave behind. I understood that what I took with me would carry with it the spirit from where I came, both its positive and negative connotations. Ultimately, I took what was useful and left behind what I could do without. This amounted to years of accumulated items, reduced to what I could fit in a simple military-style duffel bag. Most of these things I still use today, especially the suburito, which I train with on a daily basis, and a few manuals and scrolls on ninpo, which I defer to often. I cannot help but be reminded of a recurring theme in the Nihongo cultural arts, that imposed limitations create a catalyst for ingenuity to manifest spontaneously. It can be observed in ink paintings, haiku, and the more contemporary kintsugi made popular by the wabi-sabi movement. In the case of the ink paintings, elaborate designs and images are created with the limitation that the brush, once it touches the parchment, may not be lifted until you've completed the painting. In other words, from start to finish, it is completed using only a single brushstroke. I advise any who've never witnessed this before to do yourself a favor and remedy that. Most of you are, however, familiar with the haiku. Its limitations are in the syllables allowed and stanza structure. It originated from a much more elaborate system that's been simplified to the haiku we know today some 500 years ago. To communicate complicated, thematically ideas, such as the haiku, requires a level of mastery of the spoken and written language. It should go without saying that the measure of expression by necessity goes above and beyond what's expected from everyday language. Lastly, for the case of kintsugi, it translates to mean golden joinery. Less known in the West, it is a way of artistically repairing things which have been damaged or destroyed. The philosophical idea of wabi-sabi views such flaws and imperfections as a testimony to reality. It realizes and speaks to the fact that without limitations, the limitless cannot be appreciated. Without imperfection, what is called perfect has no context. So long as there is incompletion, there's always something to strive for. Thus, from that nothing, something can be manifested. From those few examples alone, the animating principle is this: restriction and limitations can bring about spontaneous power and innovation to allow one to transcend your limitations. Minimalism will serve again as a medium to solidify its relationship to this precept. Out of 100 things you may own, you may find that less than 20 of them is of use to you on a consistent basis. One should then ask themselves on a regular basis, is this truly serving me? The application of this is one of many expressions of self-discipline required for one who seeks clarity of mind. To seize what is useful requires one to let go of what is not. Consider this deeply. It is a principle that applies to far more than just your belongings. In other words, for the one who walks alone, do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. Os.